And moving on to the next one, our top producer, Mr. Terence Leong. He aimed to be the most successful unit trust advisor and entrepreneur in Malaysia. He manages the largest client fund size and leading the most productive agency. Ladies and gentlemen, he practices the 4 keys to succeed, which are dream big, work hard, stay focused, and surround yourself with good people. Terrence would like to share with us his success journey with Manulife. And now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, big virtual applause, and let's welcome Terrence.
Each one of us is born to live more and fear less.
3, 2, 1, bungee!
Lastly, I would like to take this opportunity to thank my family members, especially my father, my mom, my wife Michelle, my sister, for all the unconditional support over the years. I would like to thank my relatives, aunties, my friends for all the friendship. To all my Buffalo members, thanks for your trust in us. We're all going towards the same goal with the same heart. And to Manulife management, thanks for all the awesome supports. And lastly, to all my beloved fund holders here today. Yeah.
Never doubt yourself and limits. As the saying goes, the view from the mountain top is breathtaking. I chose the path less traveled, the less ordinary, and fulfill my dreams. I'm here to help navigate your way to the mountain top. So just go for it. Live more, fear less, and your dreams will come true. I'm Terence for Manulife Investment Management.
Hello, Terrence.
Yes, hi, morning, Mala.
Good morning. Okay, my name is Malar, so you have to pronounce it correctly, okay? Everybody else gets it wrong, so you have to get it right. It's Malar.
Mala, yeah.
Yes. So otherwise, cannot handle this, right? So you have to call me Malar. How are you, Terrence?
Yes, good. Feeling good. Feeling great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Just the introduction itself, I was already feeling, oh my goodness, I'm meeting this star, right? So you really, really live your life fearlessly, like I can see, not just in business, but even in the way you live your life, right? That's obvious in the video, right?
You saw the bungee jump, right?
What's that?
You saw the bungee jump, is it? That's why I said so.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking, if I want to be like Terrence, I have a problem because I have to do all of these dangerous things. and that's something I'm averse to. I very penakut one, okay? Okay, so anyway, let's get on and very quickly, tap into your brilliant business intelligence, and that's what we are here. So thank you very, very much, for joining us in Being Whole, Being Me series, Terrence. And I'm so glad I met you. I've only met you once, and what was really interesting is, I happened to get your video through my sources.
Wow. Okay.
And I realized, right, people are going through a pandemic and people are thinking, business is really bad. Some people are shifting focus. Some people are leaving business. And there's this guy, Terrence, who has won more awards than ever. And he's beating his own record. And he's growing his own business, which is much bigger, right? So, I had to meet you. I want to know what's wrong with you, how you do it. Also can learn from you, because it's a big thing, right, to be able to not just keep your business, not just survive, but actually strive and do really, really well, right? So tell us a little bit about your personal background, and after this we will welcome all our friends. Okay, so tell us about your personal background. How did you end up in the business?
End up in this career. Yeah. Okay. To all the guests today, all people doing it. My name is Terence. I'm a unit trust specialist for Manulife Investment Malaysia. Okay, how do I end up in this industry? Okay, where shall I start with? In fact, I came from a very unique family. My whole family is actually in this business. My father, my mother, they started doing this actually 25 years ago. Since 24 years ago, sorry. And then today's right, myself, my wife, my sister, we are all in this industry. all doing the
it's
same
a
thing.
family business lah.
It is a family business, and then it's been stretched for two generations already. And I may
Wow.
foresee maybe one day for my children future to come, so maybe they will end up in the same business as well. I hope so. Okay. Yeah. Because I wasn't born and started to run this business. I was an engineer. I used to work in Singapore in Rolls-Royce as an aerospace engineer. Yeah,
Whoa.
I studied. Yeah, okay. Because actually I studied in NUS, the National University in Singapore. After I studied 4 years, right, I did mechanical engineering. Then I actually pursued as an aerospace engineer in Rolls-Royce. Yeah. Because like many, you're familiar with Singapore system, right? If you study there, you're supposed to stay back to work for 3 years bond. Some actually their bond, because the government provides a tuition grant. They subsidize 70% of the school fees. After I work for 3 to 4 years, right, then there's the time I started looking my job I'm doing, right. I feel like I desire something more, you see. I think for many of those actually who started running a business, right, this will be the feeling you get, you see. You started working for people. At the end, you find that all the things you do, right, all the credits, everything goes back to the company, goes back to your bosses. You want to have something all belongs to yourself, you see. And that's the time I started to venture a lot of things. And at that moment, my father just told me, when he's come to the age of almost 58 years old, he said that he needs someone to take over the business, to continue the business they built. They asked whether do I actually want to give up everything in Singapore and come back. In 2012, I decided to give up and then just come back to Malaysia to start something totally new for me, which is in investment. Yeah.
Nice. So, okay, hold on. I have to ask you some very controversial questions now.
Sure,
Number
no
one.
problem. Ready
So
for
you
that.
have a whole family of people in the same business. Are you all with the same company?
In fact, we are not from the same company. Okay.
Oh my goodness. So you all compete with each other or complement each other? Tell me the truth.
It's complementing each other. I wish actually to see on that. Because a lot of people say that, hey, how come you're promoting products in different companies, right? Was there your conflicts or not? I would tend to see that for every company, they do have their own signature funds and products. Okay. Sometimes the customer looking for more diversification of companies, right? There's a time it comes in and you give them the values, you see. You give the customer more choices. Yeah, to me, it's actually to a customer to decide which one you want to go for. I'll tell you the pros and cons for each of the companies. What would be the focus on?
So this is fantastic, right? So you have a family, whole family, your parents, you, your sister, your wife are all in the same investment business, but with different companies. And the way you decide, for your clients is what you're saying, that each company has its own signature and own strength, and you go with what works for the client.
Yes, you're right.
Is that
Try
what
to
you're
get
saying?
the best of. Yeah, right. You're right.
Wow, brilliant. So you actually sapu all the business because you have all in your family.
They don't say sapu lah. It's actually just to give more choices to our customer.
Okay, I just want to know, is this a family business strategy for you all?
Yeah, in fact, we work as a team. Our family, my family members is my strongest business partners. Yeah, we support each other. Yeah. Nice. So last time I remember that during the World Cup times, right, people say this, you minum bola, makan bola, tidur bola, right? For our family, you minum, you need trust, makan, you need trust, tidur, you need trust. Every day during the dinner time, we talk, everything just talk about investment.
Nice, fantastic. So let me ask you, this is like a family of doctors gathering or family of lawyers gathering together and talking about the same thing that they're passionate about, right? Maybe your blood is unit trust blood, but never mind, I'll ask you about blood later. Now, let me ask you this, right? So if all family members are in the business, unit trust business, and so are all of you award winning? And I mean, who's the most successful?
Yes, in fact, they do win award as well. Okay, to be frank, myself actually are for Manulife. Okay, the other company we're involved in, right, is actually the biggest company in Malaysia. Okay.
We won't mention.
I think you know. Okay, whereby for the company there are more than 30,000 advisors compared to Manulife, we are only at 3,000. Except for them, they win awards at the branch level. Because we are from Seremban branch. Yeah, my family, they're actually the top producer in Seremban branch. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not only a family business, it's a whole family full of award winners in investment or unit trusts, right? And you brought all your business together, all the companies under one roof, so people cannot lari when they come in. If they don't hit Terrence, they hit Terrence wife. If they don't hit Terrence, Terrence. Words, Terrence sister. Okay, so fantastic. I think it's, I really think it's brilliant, really, and it is also nice to hear how we all can complement each other and come together with the same passion, right? Because what else can be better to be spending time together? And I love the fact that you think that you want to give best service for your clients, right? And for that, you actually let the product speak for itself, right? Which is really, really fantastic. Before we go on and ask you more controversial questions, now that we've got some of your secrets out, let me just say hello to some of my nice friends who've come. Regina is my good friend. She's not been around for a while. So Reg, thanks for coming. I think this is your Stephen Kenny says hello. Anita Lawrence, another old friend of mine. I'm not sure whether she knows you. She says, hi, Mother and Terrence. So she put smiley for you. So I don't know whether she knows you or she wants to know you. But doesn't matter because she didn't give me a smiley, okay? John Peter Ganesan is here all the way from India, very faithfully supporting us. There's a Winzy 3, again, I think that must be your kawan or don't know hula, you can tell us who it is. All right, and Anita Lawrence says, an entire family over 2 generations, so impressive. Okay, that's what she says. And Ng Sui Ching says, hello. I think that's your friend.
This is my sister, yeah.
Oh, so this is the other business partner. Hi.
Okay, this is one.
I should have met you earlier than your brother, but never mind. Hui says hello again. I think it's your friend. Now this one must tell you, like Regina says this, right? I'm going to read it like Regina will read it to you, right? Hello, Terrence. You are so handsome and confident. So Terrence, tell me, among your unit trust holders, your clients, right? Do you have more women or more men?
It's balanced. It's balanced. I need to say this. My wife is watching.
By now, your wife know all your secrets already. Yes, as long as business jalan okay lo, okay. So, but really, is it really gender balance?
Sorry?
Your fund holders, I say, is it gender balance or more? You have more women?
I would say it's really balanced. I would say really balanced. Really, it's true. I don't have the numbers with me now. I would say it's balanced.
When into your Facebook, everyone's saying Lang Chai. I mean, like people also say, hello, Terrence, you're so handsome and confident, right? So it's like after they see you, I don't even know whether they look at what they're signing, but never mind.
It's part of the service and on the investment process as well. So you're more pleasant. Okay.
Okay, but Regina is saying something interesting. She said, your wife need not be afraid. I could be your auntie. All right, so she's not afraid. But Alia Karen is here, our dearest friend, who made sure we met. So she says, my funds are safe with Terrence. So now we know how Dato Alia got rich through Terrence, right? And there's another Terrence Yap who's saying yes. All right, so we've said hello to everybody. As people are coming through, let's quickly pick your brains, right? So I watched your video. And I just loved the story of your mice, because I use the story of the frog, right? The story of the 2 frogs, because how the 2 frogs fall into a butter, and one says I can't swim and died, and the second one didn't know how to swim but continued to kick, and it came out of the cream. And I heard you saying that story about a mice, and that was fantastic. And you identify yourself as obviously the second mice, right? And which is why you are so successful. So tell me, how did this pandemic actually affect you personally and as a leader, right? Because we know the pandemic has affected everybody. So tell us a little bit about your journey, especially during this time. You are already successful. And then during pandemic, when everyone else suffering, you are more successful. So tell us about your journey.
Yeah. Yeah, I think all the stories all started from last year when actually the MCO first started. I think until today's, right, to many people, it's still a nightmare. Yeah. Although you are still in the midst of it, we haven't really come out of it. But we feel actually the impact, the most severe, right? Actually, last year during the 18th of March, when they first announced it. Okay. That time, the one words to summarize everything is everyone was so puzzled. Because it's something I think we have been keep using this word unprecedented, right? But it's true. Because I asked my parents, hey, have you seen something like this? You're being asked to lock down, at home, don't go out. The last time we did the 513, right, the racial riot, the time they only just asked at home and they stay just for 1 or 2 weeks. But now for this time, we have a lockdown for more than 1 year. Okay. Of course, when the time it was struggled, on the 18th, I still remember that time our ex-PM announcing on news, we are going to the movement control kind of thing, you're supposed to stay home kind of thing, right? I do have meetings coming up. Because we're supposed to meet all my members right in the room on a regular basis, once every 2 weeks. And the meeting is really coming up. The first thing fresh on my mind is, hey, how should we do it? Because that time, right, we make it actually a promise to our members. We're going to meet at least twice a month and never fail. No matter what happens, earthquake, we just proceed to keep doing it. But now we couldn't go and meet this. Then we started to explore many other options. That time was actually on 18th of March. That was it, the MCO was actually announced. And we did a week, right? We need to actually go to actually run the meetings ready. And I know that at the time, right, all my members are all way puzzled. They feel the same as me. If I feel lost, right, I think my member will feel even more lost, you see. That's why, as a leaders, right, you must always have a heart for our members, you see. The time we keep looking for different alternatives. Then the time people, the Zoom is still not very common. Or the online conference meeting is not common yet. Okay. One member actually suggested this to us. Then we started to explore it, we tried it out. I tested with my partners, Stephen and Kenny. Okay. And after you run it, we feel like something is not enough as well. Because at the time, right, when MCO started, okay, you all can time and check about how many of you actually had done this. When MCO started, right, the first few days, some people they feel puzzled and some they feel very excited also. Okay. They feel like, oh, this is the time I can take a break, Because the time we thought that, MCO, I think probably until this month end, right, but 31st of March should be over already. Why don't we just take a break for 2 weeks? Then I see that in my Facebook, people start chatting, hey, should we go and watch? These are all the recommended movies on the Netflix, I can do gardening, all the fun things. They say they just rest for 2 weeks. Okay. I do enjoy the first few days as well, resting. And then while watching my parents, just do nothing, stay at home, right? I feel like, wow, this is actually how retirement life is. It's actually all about. I feel that my parents, they can deserve to take a break. But for me, right, probably they are more actually responsibility on my shoulder. Okay. After a few days, I feel that I need to start to do something already. Okay. The time I start to explore Zoom, right? Because as a leaders, right, you must always need to show the way to your members. Okay. We think that moving forward, right, the MCO should be there, is long to stay. Okay. We need to find a way, right, how we can stay connected with the customers. And the time you look at the market, right, in fact, our market started to crash in March, In fact, many people, they are already panicked. Last year, in the month of March, right, it was quite a challenging year for investment because our market crashed more than 30 to 40% within 2 weeks. Yes. People are panicked, and now you couldn't go and see them to comfort them, Can you see how catastrophic the situation can be? The last thing you want is they all do the selling off, or listen to friends, right? They some other advisor talk to them, then they just throw away the customers, you see. That's why I feel like you definitely to explore these tools of doing Zoom. Then I fix a lot of meetings. I talk to a lot of my customers. I even get them to able to do top up, okay, to so-called to put in more into the investment to buy the loan now. You see, then the time I already convinced of, wow, this Zoom, right, it works. This should be the way, right, you can stay connected to your customers. Then within the 1 week, right, before the meeting, the first 1 week, I managed to meet more than 30 people.
Wow.
Yes, I quite want to rush out with getting some enough success stories. Then come to I still remember the time of meeting was on 25th of March, We held our first Zoom meeting. It was something really fresh for all our members also. At the time, I showed them what would be the pack of slides I use to talk to my customers and all the success stories, I think this method works, you see them, they like to Zoom now, and then they feel very fresh, They even willing to listen to you, and I get about almost, I think the time was 200,000 to top up. Then all my members are
400,000.
200,000. Around, because I actually compile everything as about 12,000 within the 1 week. Then my members start to see, then they start to follow me. That's how actually we break through it.
Right.
Yes.
So you are saying within a week you jump started. That's what you're saying.
Yes,
so
we did.
what I loved about what you said is that you seem to have very quickly first jump into, so you were very clear your job is to stay connected with your clients, your customers, right? So you say that,
yes.
so stay connected, and it's more of like, okay, and what I hear you saying is that you very quickly empathize with your customer. So if there's a market crash, how would my clients be feeling? They would panic. All the more reason I need to reconnect with them, which is why you connected with all of them and started talking to them within a week, is what you say. And I also love the fact that you say, market crash, what would people feel? People will be afraid. And what you quickly did is you went to comfort them. And that was the point of conversation, right? Which is right. And because of that comfort, empathy, and staying connected, and what you're saying is that during that time, people decided, you calm them down, and what they decided is, okay, let's give more money to Terrence.
Yes, you're right.
That's called charm. Correct.
To say charming. Because this is the why we're investing. Yeah.
No, I mean, really think about it, right? Market has crashed. I'm so worried. This Leng Chai comes and talks to me, and then I give him more money. That's charming, isn't it?
Probably the chance will play a part, but many of our members, right, they're all able to actually deliver the same thing as well. But the important will be they need to bring the message across to them. In fact, a lot of times, right, in successful investment, right, your knowledge is really very important. You need to be very educated. When the market crashed, right, it was due to what factors? It's all mainly due to fear. It's not really on the fundamentals of markets actually crashing. If people, they're all panics, they stay at home, they want to stock up some cash, just in case they couldn't go out and work, kind of thing. But all this, the market movement due to fear, right, it's just very short-lived. In fact, it's a very, very good buy opportunities.
Nice. So you saw an opportunity. So it's very, very interesting. Are you always in touch? Are you the type? And if you're a client of Terrence, do give us some feedback, because what Alia is saying something, but before that, what's your experience with Terrence? Because I think what's coming across very quickly is, number one, you're very proactive as a leader and a business leader. That means you're looking at what your people will feel, what your customers will feel, and you're connecting with both. And these are things that we hear in the business, but not many people are quick to act on it. And your empathy is really, really, deep, because very quickly, as you said, so emotionally intelligent, as I would say it, is that people are going to feel fear, and what you did is let's connect and see how quickly I can calm them down, so that then they can think rationally, right? So, and that's where your education comes in. So you're fearful. I know you think you're losing money. I think you might want to stock up money. I understand all of this, but let's think about this together. And that's what you're saying. And not only you thought with your customers, I can see from the comments that's coming through, you brought your team together. They saw hope, because you now have charmed more people in giving you more money, right? And so now, if I'm being led by you, I would definitely have hope, because I know Terrence is leading me, right? And so Terrence Yap is saying he did not move alone. He brought the team with him. Kudos. Now this is must be one of your team members.
Yeah, it's my leader in my Buffalo agency. One of my very respected leader.
Yeah, so I can see the number of people who have actually come through. Josephine Tang says, hello, great leader, good vibes. And this really tells you why we called you in to speak about leadership and not unit trust, right? Chris Chu, I don't know what she means. She says wash hands. Not sure what that means. Do you know the joke? Okay, Stephen Canny says we had more than 100 packs attended the first meeting. Some couldn't get in because 100 was the max for Zoom at that time, right? Yes, and you're talking about MCO being introduced on the 18th of March, and on the 25th of March, you already gathered 100 people to tell them, let's move on. People are fearful, and let's crack this, right? And Alia says, yes, he never ran away. Instead, he gave all the right reason to invest, as what went down will go up. So you actually use this to educate, and obviously she's your client. I'm not sure whether she's the one who gave you 400,000, but that's not important now, right? Brilliant strategy. One, business strategy. Number two, being connected to the people and the heart of the business in providing and being leading people and all of that, right? So fantastic. Did you feel any fear during this time? What was your own feelings at the time?
The fear, is it?
I don't know whether you had fear, because you're fearless. I know that.
Of course. In fact, when I'm still started, the biggest fear for me be on the market. Because I just like you all know, we are normal human beings. Although I'm an experienced advisor, we have been doing for 20 years, right? when they are seeing your money or your customer money just coming down. In fact, the time, right, my total customer asset was coming to about 160 million total asset, 160 million. And within a month, right, it came all the way down to 120 million. 30 million just evaporated. The time I really had sleepless night. Of course, I'm not sure how long the market will continue to go down. Even myself, I do have a fear also. But I need to always look back for my previous experience, how we handled the crisis. From there, you need to stay true on doing the right strategy and stay firm and believe in the right strategies. No? That's how actually we so-called we sail through the storm. And the challenging part is I need to get my customers to believe in the same thing as well. Because I think I remember just 1 or 2 days after the crisis, right? I have a customer call me up. He just started investing in me about 2 million in the January last year, 2 million. And guess what? And in the March, right, the money dropped, lost by almost 500,000, loss of 500,000. Okay, I think you still panic. And these are all the fear we advisors we've been through as well. When you see the phone number comes in, right, you feel like, you feel a bit stressed, a bit tense. How are you going to answer that question? Or will be those angry questioning from the other end, is it? But as our role, right, sometimes advisor, right, we need to actually deliver the right message to them, need to calm them down, and then tell them the right thing, convince them to do the right thing as well.
Okay, so Terence, so this is really, really nice. So you're talking about your fear, right? And which is fantastic because at least I know you're normal because I see all your fearless stuff, right? I thought you didn't feel anything. So what was your fear about? So when you say you were fearful, like that, when the fear hit you, and looking at, I love the way you say, how money was evaporating in the sky, right? And you said you felt fearful. What was your fear all about?
Yes, beginning I find that my fearful is actually at the wrong place. I fear of something I couldn't control.
Okay.
Something beyond my control, is it? Yeah.
What is it that you wanted to control? The end outcome. So tell us what was out of your control then?
Okay. Let's say, for example, there are two things. My first fear is actually on the market. Because when market is low, right, it's dropped, right? Normally we encourage our customer to put in money because you buy low, average out your cost so it can bounce back faster. But of course, if things didn't go well, right? If the market continues to go down further, right, then you are digging an even bigger hole, then you get stuck inside. Okay, but this is something again on the market is something you couldn't control, is it? But normally you need to focus on things that actually be able to so-called to control it. Yeah, so actually if you buy low now, right, definitely you're at a better position than they actually did nothing. Okay, and then just carry yourself, you're in fact being at the right course in the right direction. Just wait for the light at the end of the tunnel. That's all. Keep moving on it. Okay, right. And then the second fear I have, right, is actually when you run all this, actually the Zoom online meetings, right. This is something very new to us. There's so much unknown, like Zoom, which are the settings. Like the first time now, you're trying to record your first time, you go into the Zoom, right. Imagine you're the host of the meetings, you see so many buttons, you get panic. Whether sometimes do you meet, or some people, the camera not working, all the technical problems, all those things. These are all the fears, you see. You feel really uncomfortable.
Okay, so you were fearful about your clients going through losses, number one. Number two, you were also fearful because you're not sure what you can do because this is really beyond your control. It's a unexpected market condition that nobody expected, and there's no precedent to it. Right? We don't have a previous experience, right? Now, despite all of these things that was out of your control, what did you feel was within your control at that time?
Okay. For the investment side would be, because we couldn't control the prices for the fund, okay, but we can control the cost for the investment.
Okay.
The average cost. Means that if you buy low, you can able to bring down your cost. Just as an example, the price is actually 1 ringgit today. If your cost is actually, let's say, for example, 80 cents, right? If the price drop below 80 cents, you start to lose money, correct? Okay. Now the price will go down all the way down to 50 cents, You need to wait for this 50 cents to climb back to 80 cents to break even, right? This movement of price you can't control because this is actually the job for fund managers. They're supposed to choose the right stock to push up the price. But we all can control the cost side. Okay, to bring down the cost, let's say you do a top up or do some switching method to bring the cost down to 60 cents. So that 50 cents up to 60 cents actually can break even faster, you see. You focus on the things that you can control.
Right. So and so what you're saying is that even though there were many things that was beyond your control, which was giving you fear, you decided to focus on what you can control, what you know about. So you focus
Yes.
on your area of expertise and what is within your control and what you know, and you use that space to actually interact with your customers and educate them. Now, but tell
Yes.
me, right, if I'm the guy who, I'm the lady who invested 2 million in you, for example, right?
Yep.
And then suddenly I only have 1.5 million. I don't know, like, if I can invest 2 million, maybe 500,000 won't matter. I'm not sure, right? Now my money is going down. You don't know, you have no certainty of the market condition.
Mm.
You don't, there's so many factors which is out of your control, except for the cost, as you say it, right?
Yep.
Why would I believe you? I mean,
Yes.
why? Because I really don't. You also don't know what you're talking about. None of us knew the future, right?
Yes.
So why would I believe what you say? I mean, I'm trying to
Okay.
understand.
Yeah, sure. Well, there's a fantastic question. In fact, some of the question we deal with every day as well. When it comes to investment, right? This is something is a challenging part, also the exciting part for it. Because for market, always day to day there'll be fluctuation. It's very hard to actually project and estimate what's going to happen in the short term. It always is easier to so-called to understand, right? To project what is actually in long term usage. Okay. Because we do have a long track record history on the markets, right? In the market to go down, you look back all the crises in the past, right? The longest, right, for the bear market to stay is just about average about 10 months.
Right.
10 months. That's why the first thing when the market crashed down, right? The first question you need to ask yourself, okay, now your money from 2 million down to 1.5 million. Are you panic? Of course, people will say panic. The second question is ask, okay, what are you going to do now? Do you want to sell it? If you sell it, you're going to realize the loss. In fact, if you ask yourself, right, within the next 10 months, right, do you need the money or not? If you don't need it, you just wait it out. Because on average, right, the down period only be there just to stay for 10 months only. These are all the numbers to support this actually the facts. I need to get customers to see one thing, set aside the view actually beyond the long term, you see.
So, but you see, the pandemic, we know it's more than 10 months, right? So if you say, from my past, so when you did mention, you say you looked at what was your past crisis that you've handled, right? So in
Yes.
your own experience, what was what crisis were you drawing your wisdom and experience from first?
In fact, in 2008, okay, that time the nearest experience we have actually in year 2008. There's a global financial crisis. That time, in terms of amount of drop, is actually more than 40% as well within a few months time. And the period, the later will be the SARS time. In fact, this is actually not the first time we are being attacked by the virus.
Right.
Yeah, the SARS was happened somewhere in 2011 or 2012 around there, somewhere around there. Okay, and that time, right, the SARS only very shortly. I think less than 6 months. They actually rebounds back already. Yeah. And we thought even earlier, 1997, right? Then the crash. In fact, the worst crash was in 1997. That's actually the time my father joined the business. That's why we are very lucky to. I would say you use the word lucky. We are lucky to experience 3 times of major crisis. Yeah. And that time was so scary in 97. The market, the KLCI, right, from 1,002 dropped to 200 points, man. 1,002 to 200. It's so scary.
So, Terence, I'm picking up golden nuggets from you, right? What I like about you, so you said, I know what I cannot control, so I accept that. I calm myself down, even though I'm scared. I focus on what I can do, what I can control, and that's what you did. And more importantly, after that, what you actually did is, you said you relied on your previous experiences, and your previous experience is 3 different crises that you have experienced, as a professional, as a team, and you saw that as a blessing. And I think that makes the whole difference. I'm not sure, right? Because you have already trained yourself to say, there is an opportunity in crisis. We've done this before. Let's do this again, right? But how do you relate these to your clients, right? So the clients who invested more in you during this time, are they clients who were already with you for a bit, or were they new?
Of course, my client tend to actually slowly top up the money. The one actually that invested 2 million with me actually is my long. I've been investing with for long, actually more than 10 years. Of course, there'll be certain trust is there. Okay, those customers who just came in recently, these are people they can be quite fearful. It takes a longer time, so-called, to convince them, to show them more numbers and facts. Yeah.
Nice. So When clients, so what's your so if people are listening now and they're thinking, hey, now, so during the difficult time, even though you say 10 months, but this pandemic has been long enough, more than 10 months for us, unexpected, a lot of lockdown. We don't even know when it's going to end, right?
Yes.
With the current situation, right, what is the new insight that you have actually drawn in this industry for you? Because this is like your fourth crisis, right?
Yeah. In fact, this
what is different? What is your different lesson in this pandemic?
okay. This question is more point towards the investment side, right? How we're going to point the investment, right? Okay. In fact, when it comes to investing, right, one thing I learned the most out of this crisis compared to last time, right? This time the crisis tend to be longer. Yes. In fact, the time we just talked about 10 months ago, this time the COVID was there to stay about more than 1.5 years. It's always very important, right, to make sure that you have some cash reserve and some cash flow on hand at all times. It's very important. Yes, this is one of the biggest lesson I learned from this time round as well. Okay, because sometimes, right, when things happens, right, it can be something very drastic happens. We always tell people they say the importance of keeping an emergency fund. Emergency fund. Okay, what do you mean by emergency fund? Means actually some money you set aside. Okay, let's say 3 months. Let's say you calculate your expenses. Your expenses are 3,000 a month, right? Always recommended you set aside 6 months of emergency fund, which is something about 18 to 20,000 in the bank. Don't do anything. Or you want to invest in something very safe, and have this research so you can help to pull through the difficult times. At this moment like this, right, is so important.
Right.
And during the good time, people they so-called they take it very easily. But this is a time, right, with the 2 times of it.
Right. So I mean, if you have 6 months to 12, and in this case, I think 6 months wasn't enough, right? Because 6 months is what we normally say you need to have, enough cash flow for 6 months individually, as a family, as an organization. But this one beat us to it, right? So if you have cash reserves, that's fine, right? But did you have people who had money and who panicked and opted out and then regretted it?
Yes. Sadly,
Okay.
yes.
Tell us a little bit.
Because there'll be some, because nowadays, right, we have so many sources we can get information. Okay, in fact, we don't really read news from newspaper nowadays. Our main source of info we got from Facebook, right? And Facebook, there are a lot of news, right? Some are from unreliable sources. I think you call those actually the fake news. Okay, what happens to them is this, they get very influenced by all the things they read online, or some by through the WhatsApp message, right? And then they tend to develop their own mindset, And no matter how you talk to them, convince they feel that, oh, no, I want to stick to it. And then they choose actually to listen to the side. Just sign off. That's why always very important, right? You need to ask the right person for the advice, especially advice on money. It's true.
So talk to people who know what they are doing, right?
Yeah.
Now, so if I want to look for a good unit trust agent or advisor, as you said, right? I know your family is full of it. So what are the criteria I should look for? So how do I know because everyone says they're good, especially if they're new in the business, right? You're well established, right? And how do I know when I speak to an advisor that this person knows what the business is all about, and I know this person will actually look into my interest? So what sort of questions should I be starting off with if I want to, know how to choose my advisor?
Okay. Of course, the knowledge about the products will be the first thing we start with. This actually you can find out through the conversation with him about whether he knows about what he's actually doing, know about his products. Okay. The second thing will be the attitude. Okay. Because sometimes, right, I always like this saying, how you do anything is how you do everything. Okay. If these advisors, right, always you give you a call, he can never answer your call, or one WhatsApp message took few days to replies, right? Then you know that he's actually not very serious in this. Chances of maybe be running as a part-times, okay, then this actually something will actually raise a red flag. Okay.
Nice.
And then for investment, right, unlike other product like insurance, right, whereby all those actually the terms and conditions are all clearly stipulated, in the agreement and everything. Investment or unit trust, we need constant monitoring. That's why I need to make sure that you have a consistent, regular session with the advisor to update on the investment and then have a review on it.
Okay. So how often, how regularly do you do your own reviews with your clients?
Yes. In fact, a very so-called computer timeline will be 6 months to a year. It's fine. Because for unit trust, we may do too frequent. Because in between, right, you have fund manager monitoring the investment for you. You let it, you empower them, they do the matching to it. For what you see every 6 months, it's a very good period. Because if you see too short, right, what you see is just a volatility in the market. You review once in 6 months, at least you can see the major trend. You see.
Nice, very nice. So what I'm taking back is that, so make sure whoever is advising you, you check out their knowledge, and for you to check out their knowledge, you also must have some basic knowledge, lah. Correct? Isn't it? Because if I don't have basic knowledge, right, and I won't know what is the right question to ask, and whatever you tell me, you claim to me, right, I won't know because you sound more clever than me, right? So what is, and of course their attitude, I like the fact that if you say that, how are they responding to you, how responsive they are to you, right? But I also want to ask you, right, two things. So number one is, you spoke about part-timers, right? I mean, a lot of Terence Yap says, sorry, I can't help it, never trust an advisor that over-promises you on return. Okay,
That's
so I'm going to
good.
come back. Yeah. So what's an over-promise? So I'm going to now switch back to this question and say, so what's an over-promise right now? So if, let's say now I go and talk to somebody, right? What is the optimal level of returns I can realistically expect?
Very good. This is a very, very good question. Okay. But I think Malaysia, we do have these problems, right? There are a lot of those investment products on the street. Okay. Even under classify, there are two different classes, those legal and those not legal. Okay. Just to give you a few, right? Record, right? For any investment, if the company they guarantee returns, right? The only product they can guarantee is in fact just EPF and FD. EPF, they can guarantee you at least 2.5%. Lowest EPF. Okay. For bank FDs, right, it follow the interest rate, and nowadays, right, it comes down to almost 3%, 2%.
Yeah.
For insurance product, they do have some saving plan. Okay. If you actually study through, do all the calculation, the return can go up to 4 to 5%. Okay. That's why I would say anything above 5%, right, there'll be a risk. Yes, definitely there'll be a risk. No one can guarantee any return more than 5%. There'll be some cash in the agreement, need to look, see through, and then try to find out. Unit trust return is range between 8 to 12%. Average return a year, 8 to 12%. Okay. If you want to go something even higher than that, you can go for stock market. If I can make 10 to 20% return in a month, while you stand the equal chance of losing the same as well. Okay. And something even higher like those cryptocurrency, then the risk is even higher. That's why anyone coming to you say that I can get you 10% return a year, okay, the year kind of thing, right? I mean, no, something is wrong. Something is not very right.
So first, you need some industry knowledge, some basic knowledge of what is average and what is
average return. Yeah.
Right? And you need to know the different types of returns that you can. You need some financial thinking into it, right? And so, how do you so what do you do? So clients who come to you for information or who are talking to you for the first time, what do you do? Do you educate them first, or you go with whatever they have? How do you do this? I mean, tell us your trade secret, lah.
Okay, trade secret, right? I see there are many unit advisors today also. Of course, whenever someone comes to us, right, the first is many of the advisors comes here, especially those are first timers, right? They do these problems, They do their sales presentation, always run from A to Z. You want to have this whole pack of slides, 20 slides. Come in, I'm going to present everything to you on the packs. Tells you everything, In fact, they forgot the one thing. You need to put the customer at the center. Okay? You need to see what the customer journey needs to see. Let's say, for my case, anyone comes to me, the first thing I ask is, do you have any investment experience or not?
Okay. Nice.
Let's say someone, he come in, actually I invested in stock market. Or he do some even more advanced kind of investment. That's why you don't need to go to very basic what is unit trust. You can discuss some more involved topics, some more advanced topic to address his personal needs, you see.
Nice.
They buy a lot of shares in local. You don't actually to prescribe any local fund for him. You can go for something overseas fund for him, something that the customer doesn't have. A more tailored kind of solution. If someone tells that I come in, I'm a fresh grad, I haven't done any investment before, I then need to go by from the basic factors, because they need to know what they're investing in, very important.
So you
They
educate
don't
them first, lah.
educate them. We must educate them everything. Yes.
So what you do is, so if I get an appointment with you tomorrow, what you do is you will start with understanding where I am, what I know about investment. You will ask me the right question. So this is typically in our business is called coaching question. You will coach us to see what we know, educate us on what we should know, and then you will actually look at the investment after. So we are actually now in partnership with you to make our choices for our future. That's what you're saying, right?
You're right. You're right.
Oh, fantastic. So how do you go about educating people one by one, is it?
Okay, very good question. In fact, in the past, right, what we can do just one by one. Okay. And then we do run some seminars as well, the investor seminar in the past. But we always start with one problem, so look for the right venue to house a lot of people. Because seminar is actually the way you can educate many people at one time. Okay. The time we wanting to do it, but couldn't rent the right place, partly because you have to go and rent the venue in hotel is quite costly. Then in this MCO, right, we did realize, in fact, for Zoom, right, all the online, right, it's a good platforms. You can gather people comes in and listen to you. And there's no cost. Really, it's almost zero cost, you see.
Compared to face-to-face now.
Yes, only face-to-face. Last time, yes. And then the level of learning actually is quite similar to face-to-face. Okay, if you look at the slide, it can be quite focused as well. That's why you run a lot of investment education webinars. You do a lot.
Nice.
Okay.
And you have one coming up tomorrow, right?
Yeah, in fact, there's one, yes.
Okay. We'll put it up. So if you like this handsome guy and you want to be educated, so you don't sell, you only educate, correct, Terence?
Yes. Of course, the topic tomorrow is more on market outlook. What we tell you is what's going to happen in the next quarter of the market. How should you position the investment? Even you are a stock trader yourself, right? You may find the topic to be useful yourself as well.
Nice. Yeah. So you're educating us on investment, on the market. You're not going to, people who come, you're not going to catch hold of them virtually and sell them and make sure they
we do have some promotion at the end, but it's actually at the customer own choice whether you want to pursue further. There's some promotion.
We all know when people come and see you, they'll be so charmed by your good looks and words, and then they will actually so what you're saying is that educate. And what you're saying also is that you took, what you do is that you educate your clients so that they know what choices that they are making, and they understand, and when you advise them, you can do it jointly, right? That's what you were saying. And one more question before I go into quick rapid fire, right? You mentioned just now, about knowledge and attitude, and you did say something very hurtful, which is like, part-time,
oh, did I say that?
Yes, recorded, okay. So, I get it, because if it's part-time, they're juggling with a job and trying to service, and they're bound to drop some balls now. In those cases, so I'm sure in your team, do you have part-timers?
Yes, of course. In fact, majority are part-timers. Okay, I always tell them to know. Yes, for part-timers, right? It's okay. We all started with part-timers. Right. My father, when he started business in 1997, he started part-time as well. In fact, it took him about 3 years to turn into full-times. But when you're part-timers, right, always remember, you need to have a full-timers mindset.
Nice.
Part-timers with full-timers mindset. A lot of people, part-timers, right, in fact, they are no-timers.
Tell us the difference of part-time with full-time mindset. But what you're saying is that a lot of part-timers have what?
They are no-time. At the end, they are no-timers.
Mindset. So part-timer with a full-timer mindset, or you're a part-timer with a no-timer mindset. I think it works for everybody, right? So tell us a little bit more, because I think that's a golden nugget, not only for people who want to become, do unit trust or become an advisor, but for any type of business when you're transitioning from employment to business, or you're new in the business and you're juggling more than one. Tell us your golden nuggets.
Yes, because whenever you comes in, right, you must always to do everything. So this is actually one of the learnings my father actually passed down to me. Okay. In fact, my father is my biggest mentor in my life, not just in business, in life as well. In my younger days, right, he always tell me one thing. So he trained me to be very competitive. Because he himself is a very competitive person. Okay. He always tell me one thing, we call me long, right? Anything you want to do, right, before you want to do it, you need to make sure that you're going to be the number one in the industry. Only you comes in. Yes, that's a very high standard, he said it. But he lead by example. Really,
Nice.
he actually lead by example. Okay, always with the mindset you want to do to be the best, right? They have a willingness actually have the so-called direction to be the best. Only you so it comes in, because when you are doing investment, right? In fact, you come to this business, okay. Of course, you want to make a living, but there's actually a commitment you make as well. Okay, you're committed to jaga, to monitor the customers' money as well. Okay, that's why don't come in here just for a few years now. Kind of try a lot, and then you find no good, then actually you give up. Then your customer will suffer, you see. Always have a heart for your customers before you actually decide to change. I do have my investors, right? They want to turn into advisor themselves as well. Yes, quite then they feel like I can save on the charges, I don't need to pay extra commission, and then I can pay back all commission. Okay, then I do tell them, if you come in, right, just for the intention of saving the charges, right? If at the end, if you are not committed to it, you lost interest, you lose out even more, And then you want investment, you are not taking care of it, right? Maybe you can make more 20 or 30% return. If you want to save the 2 to 3% commission, right, and then you lose out even more.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is that whether you look at it as a vocation, a career, or just a job, a tick in the box so that I get money, or meaningful way and being accountable for what you sign up for, right? You're basically making a service agreement with the person who entrusts their life savings with you, right?
Yes.
And how you treat that, right? And of course, Regina says not only Terrence is awesome, now Terrence's father is also awesome, all right? So great. Now, so tell me, tell me a little bit about no time mindset, because I think people who are part-timers with a full-time mindset, we know they'll get successful, and they are not the ones who need your advice, right? Tell us a little bit, if you can, right? What would be your leadership advice to people who have no time mindset? Tell us a bit about that.
Okay. Because when we comes in, right, whenever people join us, we did tell them that there will be those achieve the commitment needed for this business. Like we run meetings once every 2 weeks. Okay.
Right.
Attending the meetings is compulsory. For you to be successful, it is compulsory. I tell them it's compulsory. Because our market changed so fast, you see. So investment world, there are a lot of this new news, all the different regulations, like what happened in China, going to affect the markets. You need to be constantly being updated.
Right.
All this market, for them only you can service your customer better. Right. Okay, that's why coming to meetings is very important. Once you come in more regularly, right, and then in our meetings, we do actually give you a lot of coachings, sometimes even on motivational topics. Okay, they have less clinic sessions, whereby you feel very charged up. Okay, and then all your energy is all filled up, right, and then you're ready to go up for another 2 weeks again. Maybe they go and see customer, you feel some rejection, you shot all over the body, then your energy is low, then you come back and charge up again. It's a gym. You come back and work out so they can get stronger and stronger.
Nice. So
that's why my advice for those timers, but always come back for meetings. That's the biggest advice.
So compulsory to attend meetings for you in your business is very much really staying updated with your business and what's happening in the business, so that you can then be relevant to your customers, is what you're saying. And
yes, that's right.
That keeps you in the circle of both content as well as context and energy, right? Because we are all going to face rejection in whatever we do, but when you're being rejected and you have a group of people and the right type of charging taking place, you can continuously recharge yourself and reset your goals. That's what you're basically saying. All right, very good. I just want to read some comments from some people that you may have missed out. We have Sundaraj who says, focus on things to be controlled is an excellent takeaway. Thank you, Sundar. And thanks for joining us again, Sundar. I think this is the second time you're joining us. Seng Chua says, tough and realistic question. So I think the compliment is for me. And of course, the compliment for you is answer session. That means you answer very well. Okay, Terence Yap says, oh, okay, we did that. Daniel, go. My friend says, he smiles so handsome. I'm so liao. But good sharing, Terence. Okay, then after that, only the seriousness comes in. Hey, coming from Daniel, go one handsome calling another handsome is fantastic. All right, I think we've covered most of the other stuff. Right, so are you ready for some quick rapid fire, my dear?
Yes, I'm not sure what this session is about, but
simply answer.
Yeah, I cannot say no, right?
People won't care about the answer, right?
Okay,
so I'm going to ask you quick questions first before Stephen Kenny says, sorry, he is taken. Was that darling? Darling?
No, darling.
Okay. All right. I like the way you're laughing, so we won't go into personal matters now. But let's. I want to just get some leadership nuggets out of you, right now. What is the top leadership lesson that you have taken away in the last 1 year?
3 words: lead by example.
Lead, fantastic. So walk the talk.
Yes,
Yeah.
walk the talk.
What is your advice for people who want to be in business, want to join any form of business, any entrepreneur kind of ideas that they want to try, right? And they're pessimistic about it. I mean, you're obviously optimistic. I love that about you, right? But people who say, I want to, but market is not good. So people who are pessimistic, what's your one advice?
In fact, you're pessimistic in any business, right? You shouldn't even get into it. Okay. Yeah.
So pessimistic. If not, don't get into business.
Really?
Is it?
To any business, we must, let's say you can be pessimistic for the short-term view, But if you involve in any business, right, you must always be optimistic at the long-term view for the business.
Okay.
You must always be optimistic at the long-term view, because or else you couldn't achieve pursuit further on that, and try to achieve further. Yeah.
Sorry. So basically what you're saying is don't get into a business for the short run. If you want to get into business, come in for the long run. That's what you're saying. And for you to be in the long run, in the marathon, you need to be optimistic. You have to have some beliefs, right? And some hope in the business. Okay, fantastic. All right. And what keeps you going?
What keeps me going? Okay. Okay, income definitely is one pointer of it. I know you're looking for this answer. Okay.
No, I was looking. I know you're already rich. Okay.
No, sir. In fact, you need to find the purpose. I know that you have read it many times, okay, for people saying that, but it's true. You need to find a purpose even bigger than money. Many businesses out there can make you a fortune. There are many businesses, but why do you choose this particular industry? Okay, learn to actually enjoy it. In fact, I derive the biggest joy, right? It's actually after I do a planning for a customer, or for people like earlier, at the end, they come to say, hey, thanks, Terrence, right? Thanks for helping me to manage the money. Now I can retire very comfortably. I tell you, the kind of satisfaction is beyond words. Even more than the income you're making, yes.
So what's your purpose statement? Terrence Yap says no, your why yes. But what's your purpose? So every day when you wake up, when you're going to see clients like Alia who have happily retired because you made her rich, right? Fine. But what's your purpose statement in this business, Terrence?
Because I do have a life goal, right? I want all the people surrounding me, right? At the end, right? They'll just get slightly a little bit richer, just by knowing me. I feel like I'm really creating values to them. Really, this is something I feel very satisfied.
Well, the Terrence selling proposition is meet Terrence and your life will be richer.
Well, that's a good motto.
Right? So meet Terrence and your life will be richer. What way we know it doesn't matter, but basically richer. So you're enriching people's life in all ways, Terrence. Beyond your good looks and laughter. Fantastic. Okay, and one more question that I have for you is, you talk about the first mice and second mice. The first one that didn't try and said, I died or sailor, died, right? Say it all. And the second one that said, okay, I don't know, but I'm going to just keep trying and keep kicking, right? And came out in a bowl of butter that became a cream. Now, have you ever in your life been the first mice?
Yes, of course.
Let's laugh. Because you're so nice about you. Tell us one story about you being the first mice.
Yeah, we are okay. Something actually happens to me, right, during my younger times when I study, because I'm not very good at handling stress. Okay, and I tend to achieve the people call me about 3 minutes now. The interest only lasts for 3 minutes. Okay, there was a time where I something probably not even my wife knows about that. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to expose some. Sorry, there was time in my study, the time, right, I was actually quite addicted to gaming. During my first year of my university, I even flunk my exam, Okay, all my family, my wife didn't know. I just thought that the paper is actually very difficult. But I really totally never studied for that. Okay, well, this is just something that I don't have interest in. That time I was quite addicted to gaming, right? My wife, she called me up and said, want to have a weekend, go out or something. I just told her, oh, I'm really busy preparing for the exam. And then I was just, gaming the whole weekend on that. Okay. And the time I feel that the subjects, right, it was actually quite a big wake-up call to me. Okay. I feel like sometimes, right, if you need to work extra harder to actually so-called, if there's some things, right, you find some problems, right, need to really overcome it. Okay, it took me a while. Because nowadays, right, I really don't dare to touch computer games. Okay, because I find myself very easy to get addicted to it. Because they say one words I use, I don't. The perfect moderations, right, is still that they still actually so not as effective as abstinence.
Thank you.
I totally cut out from that. Yeah.
Nice. So you learn from one is your so-called mistake. Not sure if it's a mistake because I don't think any one of us indulge ourselves in.
The time I'll tell you, it's quite serious. I spent like almost 2 days, right? 24 hours just sitting on the computer, just working on it, just playing it. Yeah, it's quite serious, the addiction. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, such a personal, private story with us, and I thought, I was very curious because there was just everything so perfect about you. So I thought, must find out something. There must be something imperfect.
Why you something? Yeah.
And thanks for sharing that. You made a mistake and you learn from it. And I think what's really amazing from your story is that you are aware of your weaknesses and your indulgence, and you are practicing self-control. You're practicing your own sense of discipline when you say I dare not, right? And I think that's an amazing statement coming from a leader, because you know what could be your pitfalls and you don't go to that space. So thank you so much. That's my most favorite story. Now the last 5 minutes, are you ready? It's rapid fire. You need to answer this question, right?
Oh, that's not the rapid fire.
Golden nuggets. Now rapid fire. Just answer.
Okay.
Okay. If you don't know how to answer, and then you laugh. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And okay. Ready. I am whole as a leader when I.
Sorry again. I was reading my sister comment just now.
Yeah, sister, you don't disturb your brother, can or not? Okay, she said, how come I don't know my brother ever failed in exam before? Because he never tell you. I tell you he's not as perfect, never mind. Okay, now pay attention to me. You can talk to your sister.
Okay, now, yeah.
I am whole as a leader when do you feel as a whole person in leadership? When do you feel whole?
Whole as a leader when actually I'm
complete. You feel complete as a leader. When do you feel complete as a leader?
When I'm talking to my members. Yeah, especially be a big crowd. I draw a big energy from them. Yeah.
You draw energy.
I draw energy from them. Yes.
Hi, yeah. We thought you give energy. Okay, the secret is how he draws energy from you, or not he gives you.
Yes, energy. Sometimes if I feel down, I want to have a session with my members. They themselves they motivate me back.
Nice, nice. No, I get it. I get it. You met Kirtana. Kirtana motivates me a lot. And very good. And so being me means being Terrence, being uniquely Terrence in a customer relationship means what to you?
Means to be friends. Yes. Because I like to be very close to my customers. Only then, right, be able to tell me about his real situation. That can be a better service to him. Yeah, really be a friend. Really try to be friendly.
Nice. I'm going to advertise for you. So those who want to be close to this good-looking guy, become his customer because he likes to be his customer. All right. I charm my clients by
my confidence.
Not your good looks. Okay. My superpower in investment is?
My knowledge, I would say.
Nice. I am sometimes underestimated because
I look young.
The answer was coming, I was so sure the answer was coming. Okay. Are you ready for your last tagline, my dear?
Yeah.
So you say it in your own style, okay? Invest with me and you will.
Invest with me. I won't guarantee you become a millionaire, but definitely you have no worry for retirement.
Thank you, thank you. So it's your line is invest with me and your worries will be gone, right?
Yeah.
It's away your worries, right? Fantastic. Okay, Louis says when your followers have become a success, that's when you become a wholesome leader. Thank you, Louis. This is
Yes,
a
that's
very
right. That's right. Thanks for that. Yeah.
old friend who's very kind. Now, Siu Chin Lim says, now Papa knows sailor when you go home.
Sailor day. No more gaming for you. Sailor day.
Waiting for you. All right, so Terrence,
Yeah.
thank you very much for your time. Before we leave, I mean, there were really a lot of golden nuggets. Let's hope we can have another leadership conversation. I just love the things that you said, which was so practical and very customer centric. So my own big takeaway is really, if you want your business to be successful, think long term and be customer centric and be committed to your business. And how
Right.
do you do that? Is by staying connected with them, staying communicated with them. So you have all the C's that centers around your business, right? And of course, finally that charming smile of yours that gets everybody, right? And Regina says, thanks, Terence, great leadership tips. Now, what would you like to tell the people who are watching here, your team, the new people who have learned, right? So if there's something that you want to leave behind as a leader, as a leadership nugget, now that we don't even know when is the end of the pandemic, what would you tell?
Well, the advice for the leaders would be, mentioned there's actually the words lead by examples, right? Leader is always the person who knows the way, walks the way, and show the way. Yeah.
Whoa! Knows the way, walks the way, and shows the way.
Show the way. Shows the way.
Knows the way, walks the way. No walk show. Fantastic. So thank you very much. For those who want to get richer, if you want your life to be enriched, please get in touch with Terrence. Terrence is running a session tomorrow, which is educational, and we're going to put that up here in our comments. So please get in touch with him. And if you like him, he likes his customers. So that's how you get in touch with him. All right. Is there anything else you want to leave people behind with, Terrence? So it's okay for me to put your number here, right?
Okay, no problem. Sure. Yeah.
So you can connect with Terrence via Facebook, via LinkedIn, and I will put his connection here for you to join his educational, sessions. With that, Terrence, thank you so much for spending this 1 hour, 10 minutes with us. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And as you continue with your life, I wish you all the best, and I'm sure you're going to win more awards, right? Because you won the most awards this year. We didn't even get to talk about it, but you can watch the video. So with that, Terrence, thank you. Hope to see you again, and stay wonderful.
Thank you so much. I want to thank Mala. Thanks for inviting me as well. I have an enjoyable afternoon. Thanks a lot.
All right. So we are friends now?
Of course. Okay.
Friends now. Okay, I'm his friend. Thank you, Steven. Steven kindly says invite him again, please. Of course, Steven, maybe I should get you first. So thank you. Have a great week.
Yeah, you should get Candy first. Yeah. Okay.
You know that. Okay, bye. Bye, Terrence.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye.
With that, so thank you for joining us. And this is Malar from Hearts&Minds Development Center. Yes, it is Friday. I hope to see you next Friday in Being Whole, Being Me, with another exciting visitor, guest, who's going to also educate us. But not only he's going to educate us, he's going to inspire us in a way. How do we actually build Malaysia? By educating and helping the young people. I'm not going to tell you who that is. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel, please, and Facebook and LinkedIn, but really YouTube, so that you get updated and you can support us. And if you know people who are inspiring that we can learn from, please let us know so that we can get to know them and we can bring them to you. With that, signing off, this is Malar from Hearts&Minds Development Center. Stay safe, stay whole, and stay you. With that, have a great weekend. Bye.
Each one of us is born to live more and fear less.
3, 2, 1, bungee!
Lastly, I would like to take this opportunity to thank my family members, especially my father, my mom, my wife Michelle, my sister, for all their unconditional support over the years. I would like to thank my relatives, uncle and aunties, my friends for all the friendship. To all my Buffalo members, thanks for your trust in us. We're all going towards the same goal with the same heart. And to management, Manila management, thanks for all the awesome supports. And lastly, to all my beloved fund holders here today. Yeah.
Never doubt yourself and limits. As the saying goes, the view from the mountain top is breathtaking. I chose the path less traveled, the less ordinary, and fulfill my dreams. I'm here to help navigate your way to the mountaintop. So just go for it. Live more, fear less, and your dreams will come true. I'm Terence from Manila Investment Management.